Alright guys, try to make this one quick. So last couple of days I've been working on this mini tub, grinding away trying to fit it. Since it didn't come with any kind of template for what to cut out, I've been kind of winging it. Could have made a template, but it probably would have taken me as long to do that as it would for me to just figure it out and grind it, so I didn't bother. I want to say I got them off of Mustang's Plus mini tub kit, those little 2-inch inners. But decent build so far. I can't tell how they match up. I paired them together with these outers, which I think are Dynacorn. I'm not really sure. I think I got those from Mustang's Plus or something, but I got them in somewhat. They're not aligned perfect. I'm gonna have to play with them some more. Hopefully I can get some input from you guys. Looking at my original spot weld cuts, pretty sure this was on the outside the way it came out. Not positive on that. It's been a while since I did it, but seems to be the way that they fit best is with that piece on the outside. I know, shoot, I can't remember who it was I was watching now. I want to say Joe Daddy's Garage. His 65 had one on the inside and one on the outside. But anyways, this is the section you have to cut off, like this whole outer lip all the way down up next to the seatbelt bracket. And I'm actually wondering if I need to relocate this or possibly see if I can move it, cut the welds and literally butt it up against the frame rail, because there's a little bit of gap inside, and the other one's looking like it needs to, the mini tub looks like it needs to move in a little bit further than what that is. So I might end up having to do that. Hopefully maybe somebody else has done this before and can provide some input. These aren't the original frames, of course, they're Dynacorns. But anyways, I'd asked someone, see if they could get me some measurements, and this is the piece that I'm gonna have to fab up in this rocker. So I either need a measurement, my guess is probably gonna be from, I guess, this front. I don't know if it'd be best to measure from like this seam right here, from this pillar. This can flex some. I don't know if these are all gonna be the same from right there. I don't know if you could measure from this lip here, but I guess I mainly need to know that measurement. Just tell me where you're measuring from and give me a measurement to know how long of a piece to make. I don't know the exact. Honestly, I was just gonna wing it and just make it symmetric on both sides, as long as it covered over the wheel well. This isn't gonna be a show car. It's gonna be my toy car for the most part, but I plan on doing everything as right as can be, but I'm not going back for factory original by far, obviously. Originally I was thinking I could get a measurement from this piece back, I guess from this back or from this face where the wheel well will be, back to the end of the lip, which is like, I want to say it was 1.5 inches, 2 inch, maybe 3 inch, something like that. But the other side, I replaced this piece, and this I've done a bunch of grinding and hammering on, and these were bent up some, so that won't be very accurate. Anyways, back to this over here. I guess my questions are, I kind of figured out one. Originally I was wondering this inner, whether or not, which I don't think you can really see, but this lip down here from the inner, I originally was wondering which side of this it went on, but I'm thinking it's got to go on the outside. Same thing with this one, it's going to have to overlap on the outside as well. And I was wondering if this tucked underneath it or outside, but it's looking like this has to go on the outside as well. I don't know how far this is supposed to sit. I don't know. I've got a little gap here. I don't know if you can even see it. Let's see if I can get the light up here some. Alright, now you see the gap. Don't know if that needs to be literally butted down as far as it can go or what. It's got this little hole here. Not sure what that is actually for. I don't know if it was supposed to be a drain hole of some sort or alignment to weld onto this tab. I don't know if it originally the stock inner had a hole there that maybe that met up with. Honestly, I have no clue. Since I'm not using stock inner,
Can't really go on that. Same thing with this back piece. When I had the mini tub section out, I actually mocked up the outer pretty tight, and this was flush, didn't have this huge gap here, and it met up perfect, and it seemed like the outer was in the perfect spot. Now the crappy thing is I can't really secure it and then go put the inner in. So I'm gonna have to, I guess, keep toying with it until I can get it to where that gap in the back actually closes up. That's one more reason I kind of wish I would have gone with a different mini tub. The Detroit Speed one doesn't have this upper lip. It doesn't have the actual weld lip. The way it goes in is it actually overlaps over this, and you spot weld all the way up and over and around it. And you install it just by slipping it inside up against the frame rail and just push it up and just clamp it and weld it. Super easy. But I ordered this way back before I discovered the other one. So here's my predicament with the seat belt. It is up against it. I've already ground on that a good bit. I'm afraid to grind any more on it and risk making these threads weak. I do plan on leaving the back seat in, which obviously I'm gonna have to modify a back seat to fit in here since I'm doing a mini tub, and I'm putting a 4-point cage for now in. My original idea is going to be to cut these and move them in some if I can. If not, I'm going to probably have to cut a section out of this and weld it to the back side and then weld it up. It's the only other idea I could think of, is just put it inside of the frame rail. That idea isn't the best, but I don't really know any other options if I can't move it inward. But it's touching in there. It's got a little bit of touch right in here and up here, but that's borderline right on the frame rail there, so I can't go too much more inward. So it looks like I need to go up with the mini tub though, because it doesn't quite fill in this gap. It doesn't quite slip underneath this piece here, but it doesn't really want to go up anymore because it's binding between this piece, which I might need to hammer in some, because like I said, I did make this piece. I measured it, but it's, you know, it's not down to the 32nd, probably not even to the 8th. It's probably within a 1/4 inch spec, but I knew that tab wasn't really used for anything but welding the wheel well too, so I wasn't really worried about it. But I can bend that, hammer that inward some if need be. That you'll probably aren't going to be able to give me any input on, but, and of course you see I got a huge gap here that I'm going to have to fill in with some sections of metal that I cut out. I'll do that whenever I actually put the drop lip in that I'll weld the wheel well to, but it won't be able to stay like that. I just got tired of constantly pulling it out, cutting it in, so I finally just went to grind and took a chunk out of it so I could get this sucker to actually fit in, because this is the first time I've actually been able to fit it into this gap pretty much. Before it wanted to bind up everywhere. But step back out of this car. So that's where I'm at though. I want to say that's all the questions I have. I'd love to have some input if anyone has any on how the inner and outer made up, I guess. If there's any kind of alignment that I could identify to actually know how they go together as far as twist wise. Obviously inside they gotta, you know, stay kind of flush between each other all around, and right now they're fairly close. This outer's a little bit higher than the inner. Granted, like I said, the inner needs to go up some more, I saw. I don't know if you'll be able to see here or not. See? Yeah, you can see the gap there. A monster gap. Alright. That's what it looks like so far. And then I'm going to have to treat this. Probably use some of that phospho that saw in another video.
And then of course this section I'm about to grind some more. And then finish chopping out the overlap. Like I said, this quarter panel's been replaced before. Whoever did it obviously did a shit job, you can tell. Yeah, looks like they did a damn clothes hanger weld job. It's terrible. The bond on this thing was insane. Oh, but little tool shout out if anybody happens to be looking or shopping for anything. This little air nibbler, I got it from Eastwood. I don't know who else sells them. Thing is a beast. It cuts through sheet metal like no tomorrow. Screw grinding, throwing dust everywhere, it spits out these little metal chips. And that's about it. And it just eats through it like butter. And the other one was this that I got in today. This little 4.5 Kawasaki with a paddle. This thing is a beast. It is way better than this old school. And it's not going to focus. I was hoping to be able to show you. There we go. I don't know if it's got a model there but not, but if anybody's shopping for one. I haven't used it but for today, and the thing's amazing. I got this crappy Harbor Freight deal that the bearings in it have been shot forever. It about vibrates my wrist apart when I use it. And then I've got an old one that I got from my grandpa way back when. But that thing has made a huge difference. I actually enjoy grinding now. But yeah, I think that covers it as far as what I had questions for. And I guess until next time, guys, help me out if you don't mind. Give me some input on what you think, what ideas you have. Oh, my camera sucks at focusing. But anyways, I'm gonna go eat. I'm starving. Thanks for watching.